Enti abusan nchawo. Enra the news about military men say omye well armed etimi aborum ewo the former finance minister your friend say Ofori Atta ifi. Now as attend enumere be say 10 one day the motive the reason why omko nipa osoma omo and I say whoever ordered that raid na yenim. Now this is Paul Adom Otchere. Paul Adom Otchere say he's gotten more info and more details. I just say busuan wo chichim enema ekoso. Now, according to Paul Adom Otchere, some of it say enipa osoma as military men no Agyapong the special prosecutor. The reason why we call her and say prior to this raid and I say invasion, so just no koye Ofori Atta fie wo cantonment no. Etimi a request say Ofori Atta mra na umi bi se umi yi nsem bia no efa the famous or infamous SML contract bi ekọ so a ehun sikapuduo bi ehihye ehim when an Ofori Atta da so finance minister. Now and Paul Adom Otchere 8 me church bra soldiers no ko enema ekọ so ene enema events leading to that raid no ebusia yenkuni nkoti ye ba. There is another video say this is Mustafa Bandi and wotimi eka raid we as a Otchere say NDC for ba they will make sure say Ofori Atta obetimi afisi mra and we don't know say eno na asha see dia bet the first story about team Paul Adom Otchere say ochichim ensama enwe ekọ so ewo Ofori Atta fie ebre news eba say military men etimi aborum wo panini fie no ene nkomo kwa akwachi no say so nkomo kwa akwachi say we don't even know but then report coming and say ebro mo koye no na opani no eni ho oni Ghana watu kwan ekwa America for medical checkup enti omkokoto na yere ene na busuafo kakra bia na wo fie. More details from Paul Adom Otchere.
Lives there, and information reaching Good Evening Ghana suggests that the raid that has occurred at Ken Ofori Atta's house earlier this evening, Tuesday 11th February, was not conducted by police officers. It was conducted by military officers. Now, they don't know that somebody on the top of the building next door was filming, and that video has been made available to us. So, was filming how they entered, and then the video remained until they came out. What happened inside, the video couldn't capture because the person was on the building. The soldiers, if you went there, you will see that to your left, there was a story building there. A very prominent person lives there, and she was concerned about what was happening. So, she filmed it, and she sent it to us. So, the video indicates soldiers, numbering about 15 of them. One of them is half camera, so we really couldn't check. But at least there are more than 10, numbering about 15 military soldiers, not police. They raided Ken Ofori Atta's house at Cantonment earlier today. Now, everybody was pointing to Dr. Akuffo Dampare. It's not about Dampare. It's not Dampare. Apparently, the Honorable Kisi Agyapong is responsible for this. And we don't know why. Kisi Agyapong is responsible for the raid on Ken Ofori Atta's house this evening. Now, why are we saying this? Because we have now also seen letters that have been written from Kisi Agyapong to Ken Ofori Atta, asking for Ken Ofori Atta to be questioned on issues relating to SML contracts. Viewers, remember that, the famous or infamous SML contract. So Kisi Agyapong has written to Ofori Atta, asking him to answer questions on the SML contract. I'm not so sure who asked him to do that, but the OSP can have a mandate originating from his table. He can originate a mandate based on the broad mandate that he has. He can originate a mandate and say that I'm coming to ask you questions. He can do that. So in exercise of that authority, Kisi Agyapong, the special prosecutor, wrote to Ken Ofori Atta. Lawyers for Ofori Atta responded to Kisi Agyapong indicating that the witness was not in town. Ken Ofori Atta was not in town. He's in America on health grounds, and that they are able to answer questions on his behalf so long as he can produce the questions. Lawyers also promised that as soon as Ofori Atta arrives in Ghana, they will submit him to the office of the special prosecutor. As far as the lawyers were concerned, this was the conclusion of the matter. Now, they were told today that their client's house has been raided by soldiers. Quickly, calls went to the police IGP, asking Dr. Dampare, what is all this about? Dr. Dampare is thinking about himself, and that's what he told them, that I have not sent anybody to raid anywhere. The people who went there were soldiers. I don't have control over soldiers. I just have control over police. So the military, and this is the so I don't know whether the defense minister, Dr. Mcbrown, is aware. But please tell Dr. Mcbrown that I was mentioning his name. He's the minister for defense. And his soldiers, numbering over 10 of them, under the instructions of the office of the special prosecutor, as widely believed, raided Oforiata's house today. Military, not police, military. They raided Oforiata's house today, 3-4 hours ago. The story is on CTFM. Let's get a glimpse of how Channel 1 and CTFM put the story out, and then we take it from there. Do we have it? It's a very short story though, because it's still running. Ken Oforiata's home raided by individuals in military uniform. A group of individuals in military uniforms raided the residence of former finance minister Ken Oforiata on Tuesday afternoon. The incident took place in cantonment while Oforiata was reportedly out of the country. However, some family members, including his wife, were present at the time. The motive behind the raid remains unclear. Channel 1 news sources confirm that multiple uniformed individuals entered the premises, but it is yet to determine whether anything was taken. Authorities have not issued an official statement on the incident. Now, we know that from the videos that were made available, when the soldiers were coming out, they were not holding anything that they didn't have when they were entering. And we checked that to be sure whether something was taken out, because we had already read the story before this lady sent us the video. So if you look at it, the way the soldiers entered, it looks like that's the same way they came out. So they didn't take anything. The question then is mandates, authority, warrants, all of those things come into play, because when the police are coming to your house to search you, let me have the photograph of the three of them again. When the police are coming to your house to search you, they would normally have a warrant. And in the police context, an individual high court judge can so moto, as they say in law, it means by himself, can so moto issue a warrant for your arrest. A high court judge can so moto and ex parte issue a warrant. Ex parte means they don't have to call you and come to the court. So moto means by himself. He doesn't need a motion. He can just do it upon his own motion when he's told that this person needs to be searched. So the police will normally do that. I believe that even under the rules, I think so, I stand to be corrected, that the Inspector General of Police can issue a warrant. I think so. The Inspector General of Police can issue a warrant, but the CDS cannot issue a warrant. The Chief of Defense Staff cannot issue a warrant over a civilian that they should go and search him. The Inspector General of Police can. So if the Chief of Defense Staff wants to search you with the soldiers, he has to go through the Inspector General of Police. But here's Kisi Ajabe, who walks around with soldiers protecting him. And I'm guessing that he sends soldiers to Ken Oforiata's house to go and search him. There's a lot more on this story coming up on Thursday. So much more is going to come up on Thursday. Here's the Honorable Ken Oforiata and his wife, Angela. Honorable Ken, don't worry. We know that you have not done anything wrong. Sometimes you become finance minister, and in your quest to do things, some things can go wrong. Everybody is blaming you about DEP, debt exchange program, collapse of banking, and all that. But in due time, I'm sure posterity will see what you did, if you did something good, and I'm sure that you did something good. So that's kind of where I say a prayer for him tonight, because he's under Kisi Ajabe's radar. Here is Ken Oforiata and the learned Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. I'm not sure when this photograph was taken, but this is the Archbishop who I'm going to talk about tonight, because he had a stupendous prayer session in Parliament today, and I'm going to talk about what the Archbishop told the MPs when he was praying for them. That's coming up. So that's the Archbishop, that's Ken Oforiata, and that is Angela Oforiata in an old photograph. Pray for Ken.
So Paul Adom Otchere. They will feel say we knew a fan seminar who was on the attitude to ja. No accuse OSP and as a special prosecutor. Kisi Ajabe say he is the man with me order that military raid on the home of the former finance minister. Yache say Nhyira say wetimi atwetwe letters via command pen. Ese wentimi mra meyin semanwa. Ne lawyer say timi atwa man say the former finance minister no eni Ghana enti no ba o betimi ene na bekasa afedie was is away in America on medical checkup no soldiers etimi abawura ni fee. Now according to Semna Wuti, you know, soldiers na call hono, they were numbering up to 15. What do I say? As it stands now, so mo fair bibi, so man fair bibi the yenim. But according to Paul Adom Otchere and Samuel Busia Wuti, no Otchere say said omo koye no san omo buy, which means oman fat bibia. I mean, said the camera beating a capture man or anything. Now let's get to this video. This is Mustafa Bandi. What I say? Now, around November, he made this statement. He said they have credible cause to believe, say, Oforiata is engaged in some form of scandal. and you know omoba they are going to investigate and make sure so be facing mra. Now Enra raid new raising eyebrows as to say politically motivated and I say a processes I wo say na esenko woye dada no manye na yenko ne gotie Mustafa Gbandi nensem efa Oforiata e read no aho ana say Oforiata as finance minister any Enra read no say bia e wo link bia
we are facing today was not there in 2016. Problem I am facing there was not there in 2014. 2014 had its own peculiar problems. And John Dramani Mahama took bold decisions. At the time when Ghana had an economic problem, he wasn't arrogant with it. Okay, meaning say okay, was a century declaration. Or say Ghana for you now,
economist.
Yanya or my baku, Nyan Cotranian to again, said Yebeya, Yebe home Afia how you. He did that. And when we came back from century, things began to pick up any lose election. We move by, you say, oh, COVID. If you call the say Ukraine. You couldn't solicit national consensus on how to solve our local problem because they were stealing the money. Now, listen, we have investigated 58 government appointees. If I tell you the sum of money they have stolen, you will collapse.
Tell me.
I won't say it now. They will be pursued.
58
of Nanado's appointees.
ministers.
And look, they can ban documents, they can ban ministries. We have the dockets already. We have the documents ready. We have investigated them.
It is a Ghana for Muna January 2025. Yes, swear more in 7 January.
Yes.
You are going to go after 58 ministers.
One more properties, can be a good them. One more be 2 girlfriends.
You are talking about Cecilia Dapa.
No, and you want to cry there. One more. Look, Cecilia Dapa, no, yeah, something little. And $1 million. The money that they found under Cecilia Dapa's bed. An old lady, look at what you have done to the country. Sika ya koje no si ya kodreje Odo River. What was your dredge?
Yeah, but that money is not with Cecilia Dapa.
Where is it? It's with the president.
I said where you investigating?
Why?
Special prosecutor.
Now when him said the special prosecutor was nearly killed. Do you know that? He was almost assassinated.
By who?
Me say, but for the fact that his car was bulletproof. Nanado appointed him. In this government, they couldn't protect him. He was nearly killed. But that's the conversation for another day. So I'm saying that the money that they have taken, that money alone can develop this country. All the loans that they have taken, the inflated prices they use as a sinking measure.
You go after finance minister, former finance minister.
Oh, Kanofurata, they're so Owukra Yebejelino. Kanofurata. Owukra Ghanaians will jail. If President Mahama doesn't jail Kanofurata, Ghanaians will rise up against him after December 7th. Kanofurata. Let him die. His dead body will be jailed, including 58 of them. So they should stop this cock and bull story of our economy had challenges. They have stolen the money. And Addo have supervised same. Me say, when we win the election,
we are going to jail the former health minister.
Why?
Yes.
A contract man Nigeria. I think $18 million. Only 7 million, no, we are 26 or 7 million. Only 7 million about Ghana for bottom. Ghana for try. Hey,
it's part of your list.
COVID Sikano. No, no, the Auditor General Canada. And is not a subject of further investigation. Auditor General Canada.
So, no, Mustafa Gbandi, no, the General Secretary or the Deputy for NDC. Yeah, say. Or also air cancer now or cancer same way around November. And Pensema no can witness Oforiata de or more meaning to a point say all cancer say impulse who are new they will go after if no be too funu cry if you with deal. And we are wondering say sa and no na sha say na to a point say military men ekuni fie no san sem no na aba na ebusia So there's a whole lot if we say story mu ebeba, and I believe say in the days coming more details will come, but as it stands now, if according to Paul Adom Otchere, say military men they were sanctioned or they were ordered by the special prosecutor say omuntimenko na omuntimenko ready for as to what they went there to do exactly. But then the story is new. Afina Airbatch say I hope so with time more will come. So this is what we have for you right now concerning Enra story. Say the former finance minister suggests etimi reading fee no awumko we or US on medical checkup. And baby yetimi abedrunia Paul Adom Otchere etimi juju and semu kakra. So yedu be see here yebeko so design same we achi as and when na update be few aba no ebusia metimi amwaya aware. And so your first time abe subscribe to channel so the comment section is open obetimi so share comment na yetimi edi